Right, we've got J-Cube with $25 saying, wish we could have done GDQ in person this year, but this is the next best thing. Thank you to everyone getting this working behind the scenes. And speaking of getting things working, I think we're ready to start. So without further ado, we've got new Ghostbusters 2 with MadMegaX381. So Mega, take it away.
Hello everybody, I'm MadMega. This is new Ghostbusters 2, emphasis on the new, as you can see on the screen there, hopefully. With me, I have the wonderful gliitchwiitch as my co-commentary.
Well, I jumped the gun on that. Hi, everybody.
That's my fault. That's my fault. All right. So two things. We're gonna get started here, but I need to know who you all picked to save the world.
I think they picked the Ghostbusters.
All right, let's see. There was a bid incentive for who we were going to have, and I'm gonna...
Yeah, so I've got it up here. The top two character choice incentives for new Ghostbusters 2, Winston Zeddemore with $235.
All
Second
right, there's
place,
number one.
Louis Tully with $225.
Excellent, excellent. All right, so timing begins when I select Lewis. So apparently haikus are a thing in this GDQ. So I wrote a little one real quick, and we'll get going as soon as I'm done with that. New Ghostbusters 2, Ghostbustin' makes me feel good. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Good luck with the thing. I think the most exciting part about this Ghostbusters NES game is that it's good.
Yeah, this is the biggest difference between this Ghostbusters game and other Ghostbusters games that are on 8-bit systems is this one is actually fun. So the basic idea here is I'll try to like go through all of the mechanical stuff so that we can actually kind of have like a little bit more fun once we get playing. I'm controlling who everybody selected Winston, and Lewis is following around behind me. He is an AI character, and that means a couple of things. It means, number one, he gets to throw out the ghost trap to catch the ghosts when I hold them in the capture beam. But what it also means is that because he's an AI companion, he's not especially bright. So a lot of times, if you see me moving in kind of funny ways that don't make sense to you, what I'm actually trying to do is trying to prevent Lewis from going where I don't want him to. The game is kind of smart. It sets it up so that if Lewis gets lost, he just walks around the outside of the room until he finds me again. But that's really slow, so we're going to try not to have that happen.
There's a very small part of me that wants to see it happen because it's always very silly when it does, but he's doing his best, y'all.
It's not so bad in small rooms, but there are definitely rooms where it is a real problem. All right, these are the Scoleri brothers, you might remember from the movie, and that is the first stage, all done.
What y'all are in store for is MadMega's got a ton of knowledge about this video game in terms of like trivia and who these characters are that I would never be able to tell you.
Yeah, so fun fact, the first song in this game is On Our Own. If you've ever seen the movie, there's a lot of music from Bobby Brown in it. It was released in *89, and he was a big artist at the time. So the producers of the show wanted him to do the music for it. So what this game does is it basically chiptunifies all of, or at least a bunch of the music from the movie, which is actually pretty good. Oh man, that ghost was coming at me there. Whew, that was a little scary. But so this is actually not a song by Bobby Brown. This is Flip City, and this was another song in the movie that happens. There's like a big montage towards the end of the movie with a bunch of ghosts just running roughshod around New York and causing all kinds of problems. And now this is the worst room in the entire game. So, okay, we were able to get out of there without getting hit, so that's good. Okay,
My first time playing this, I was all about saying, this game is awesome. This is so cool. How did this not exist? And then I hit that room and got hit by 6 minecarts. It was...
Yeah, this is, I think, far and away the hardest stage in the game because of the minecarts. Like, I tried to dodge that minecart, and it literally went out of its way to try to hit me. So they're just mean. Like, if you don't like minecarts, this is not the game for you.
Oh, but this game's got plenty of continues, right?
It has 3 continues. My personal goal for this game is hopefully that I don't need one for this run, but it's not the big deal. It's not a super big deal if we need 1 or even 2. We just don't want to get super close to the end and be running low on lives here. Luckily, as you collect ghosts, as you catch them, we'll earn points and maybe get a 1-up. So that's the second stage. It didn't go off the rails. So that's good.
I'm really happy the train did not go off the rails in this train level.
So I think we can do a quick donation or 2 here real quick.
Sure. We've got 1 Ghostbusters haiku. It's going to be a little bit reminiscent of yours to count in. But Citrus donates $10 saying, "Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters does not haiku well. Bustin' still feels good."
Excellent. Anything Ghostbusters. Like when I was a kid, I was a huge Ghostbusters fan. I guess that in my grade school, you were either a Turtles fan or a Ghostbusters fan. I was a fan of both, but if I had to pick one, I was a Ghostbusters kid. And so I was mostly used to the terrible NES Ghostbusters games. That everybody else might remember. The cool thing about this game is that it's good, as Gliitchwiitch said earlier, but it was never released in the U.S. So this game was a PAL and Japanese territory release only. It's a little mini boss that isn't even really a boss. These enemies are far and away the worst enemies in the entire game because they spawn randomly and they can just spawn on top of you, and they can also spawn pointing one direction and then go another. So they don't care about any of the rules. They're just awful. So we're gonna hopefully not get hit by them. They're, like I said, they're far and away the worst enemies in this game, I think. Like right there, he spawned practically on top of me. I had to try to dodge out of his way. That's pretty hurt.
It wouldn't be a Ghostbusters game if it wasn't mildly spooky. Ninjas jumping out at us, a little less what I expected, but it works.
Yeah, I don't remember ninjas in the movie, but
you just weren't looking for them.
Oh. Yeah, the ones that throw the shurikens aren't quite as bad, which I appreciate. Oh, I should probably mention, because this stage has the most doors, you can only have 1 door open in this game at a time. So if Lewis is walking through a door and I would get to that other door, it would not open until the door that he's next to closes. So you can kind of see that if he gets too far behind me, that we might end up with doors that are a bit of a problem. Luckily, none of these rooms are too bad. A lot of what this game is about is trying to move in ways so that you don't get especially bad spawns of the ghosts. And because you can throw the traps through the walls, you actually have a lot of ways that you can save time if you get lucky with spawns. So some of the spawns are fixed like that, and we can go through and we can grab the ghost pretty easily. But some of them are totally random, and you can just, get unlucky. But that happens. This is another mini boss sequence here. We're gonna grab these. Have time for another donation if.
Sure thing.
Have a minute.
You've got Frice donating $50. Up the power, up the difficulty. And remember to use your Twitch Prime sub if you've got it. Greetings from Eorzea. And I assume that is in reference to the Power Blade run coming up later this morning, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah, 100% donate to that. Power Blade is an awesome game. Definitely want to see the expert mode of that. I'm a big fan of Power Blade. I think that's a super rad run. So we're just going through here. This is supposed to be Peter's apartment building. If you remember the movie, Dana comes and stays with him, and after her bathtub tries to eat her. And so this is the sequence in the movie where little Oscar, her son, gets kidnapped here. So we're trying to prevent that. Spoiler alert. But we have these like pumpkin-headed ghosts that for anybody that's about my age, you might have seen the real Ghostbusters cartoon. These ghosts all make me think of Sam Hain, who was a recurring villain on that show. He was a Halloween ghost who had a pumpkin for a head, so I call these the Sam Hain ghosts. And they just kind of float around, you know, there goes Lewis, he's lost. He found me, he's okay.
Oh, I'm so happy we got to see the AI wander off and it didn't cost you any time.
That's the best, like, the AI gets lost and just like, doo-doo-doo, and then I'm totally by myself.
I wanted to rewind just slightly to the versions of this game that did come out here, sort of. Tell us about the Game Boy game.
Oh, okay. So the Game Boy game is actually, it looks similar to this. This was developed by HAL Laboratories. The Game Boy game is similar in that the Ghostbusters are still their chibi-looking selves here. But the difference, the Game Boy version that Slimer moved away a little bit. Your AI partner also has health. So in this one, what's nice is if, like, Lewis is invulnerable, right? He can walk into stuff. I don't have to think about anything. Unfortunately, in the Game Boy version, that is not the case. So it makes it way more difficult. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that Game Boy game is a lot harder in a lot of ways. Like, I played it a little bit, and oh gosh.
Yeah, there's a second Ghostbusters game on the NES just called Ghostbusters 2, not New Ghostbusters 2. The new is very important, everybody. I can't stress that enough. That is this weird mishmash of like 6 different types of game. There's a shmup section, there's a driving section with Ecto 1, there's a like knockoff bad Contra sort of thing going on. It's a disaster. I love it because I had it as a kid and I love the Ghostbusters, but it's not good. Play this one instead, everybody.
That game is also one of my guilty pleasures to watch you speedrun. Oh gosh, it's one of my favorite things. The only Ghostbusters game I had growing up, I would go to my uncle's place and he had the Commodore 64 version of the original Ghostbusters game.
Oh, the original.
Yeah. And that's a game I never figured out what I'm doing in.
Alright, so that was the first time I got hit. That's actually really good, to be honest, to make it all the way to the River of Slime and only get hit there. I'm dealing with some weird physics here. You can see that the slime is kind of moving around. It impacts my movement speed. And so if I'm walking with the slime, it makes me move faster. If I'm walking against it, slower. You know, basic stuff. But this is another chiptune song from the movie. This is We're Back. This is like, I guess probably like the big quote-unquote hit from this movie. Like the first Ghostbusters obviously had the Ghostbusters theme song that was like a big deal on the radio in '84. Oh, Lewis, come here, buddy. He didn't want to bust any more ghosts there for a second. We had to convince him. So you see, there, see the AI. It just goes around the outside.
It's so terrifying. There's ghosts everywhere. There's a whole sewer full of slime. All of this is no bueno.
All right, so this is the last like actual room in this stage. That Slimer tries to throw a bottle at my head every time. Okay, good. Lewis can get stuck on that little like wall thing up there, and he'll just walk all the way out. So this is the next boss here. This is probably the hardest boss in the game, I'd say, because they spawn these like slime monster things sort of spawn randomly, so I have to watch. And so like that one just spawned and immediately shot flames at me, and I was trying to get out of the way, so it can be tough. Although once you're shooting them, you can walk through them, so that's not too bad. But now there's 4 as opposed to 3, which is way harder. But we're doing okay. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay, we're good.
I assume Lewis doesn't need to do anything during this fight, so keep thinking.
Just catch the last one.
Okay. I see him walking into position and not doing anything. I'm like, come on, dude, just throw the trap. That's all you gotta do.
Time for a quick donation. This is the last, like, regular stage.
All right, we got Mixmaster PJ donating $13.81. He's not quite in costume like his other runs, but MadMegaX381 is coming in strong with the shirt and hat. Here's $10 for X and 381 cents for X381. Good luck on your runs and congrats.
Thanks, VJ. Shout outs to him. He's an awesome dude. He actually is a good friend of mine. Always fun to hang out with him. He's a great runner. Does some Top Gear and just great. Definitely shout outs to him. Oh dear. As I said, the ninjas are the worst. That one. That's okay though. We only have one more set of ninjas to deal with in the whole game, so. Oh dear. Threw a hanger at me. Like, who throws a hanger?
I mean, you're kind of... Okay, no, I would have believed it in the apartment building, but this is kind of a museum of sorts.
Yeah.
Where did you get this?
I have to assume there's like a coat room or something, but I mean, come on. That's crazy town.
Okay, now you've gone and made sense of my sarcastic comment. I did not sign up for this.
Oh. All right, we're gonna do this the slow way because this ghost decided to run away. So obviously what you see a lot of times is every room I have to catch every ghost before I can move on. But because we can shoot through walls, one of the things we try to do is we try to kind of kite the ghosts to walls so we don't have to actually go into separate sections of the room like this. So if things worked out really well, I would have been able to catch that one ghost through that wall, but was not cooperating. Here we get Scolari Brothers Redux. Apparently they were both twins. I did not know that. Here are some more Sam Hain looking poltergeists. Oh dear. Oh, of course. So the trap can only go so far. So sometimes when I'm trying to catch ghosts through segments, Lewis just gets confused and starts walking back and forth. It hasn't happened much, luckily. So things are going all right. Are these chainsaw ghosts that I don't remember?
I like the painting ones. I think those are my favorite ones.
Yeah, these painting ones are just like they just leap out and grab you.
See, the AI almost went for an adventure there again.
Yeah, that's actually a section that normally you're trying to use very specific movement. You actually kind of run a little bit. You take a efficient path, and it actually helps keep your companion in place. And we're going to take that a little easy there because we don't want to walk into those. And we are making pretty good time here. Time for another donation since I'm coming up on a ninja room here.
Sure thing. We've got Doug E. Fresh with $50. What better time for my first donation than while my brother-in-law is running Ghostbusters? Congrats. GDQ has given me so much entertainment over the years. Time to finally repay the favor. Donation goes to Runner's Choice.
Yo, thanks, Doug. All right. So here's what I was talking about earlier. We can shoot through walls, which is great. Like, because the ghosts are supposed to be able to go through walls, but in this game they can't. But I can shoot through walls, so that's a nice little flip on the whole how ghosts are supposed to behave sort of thing, which works out really well for us as a speedrunner. And this guy's running away. There we go. Ideally, he comes back down and we can just catch him right on the way to that door, but he wasn't being cooperative. These are just little slime jellies. They aren't really anything. As long as you know where they spawn, they really aren't dangerous, but
Are they multiplying, or is it just like NES Flicker that's doing that to me?
That's just NES Flicker. There's a set number of them in that room, and we have to catch them all, but they don't... You can kind of manipulate the spawns, but I actually haven't figured out a way to make them as efficient as possible, or at least what I would think is the like ideal efficiency, right? It's mostly just fighting through like certain segments and trying to keep your movement as minimal as possible. Like, because my movement isn't as important as Lewis's. However I move is easy, but I'm trying to keep Lewis from moving at all, if at all possible, in certain rooms. So this is Dr. Janusz Poha. He's been, I guess, he's been taken over. There's a word for that, and I can't think of it right now.
Possessed.
That's it, possessed. Thank you.
Oh, anytime. This is why you brought me here. Just for that one little line.
That totally worth it. All right, so that's 3. We have to count the 10. So there's another good time for a donation here.
Well, if you say 10, we've got a $10 donation from Carolyn B that says, "Love the NES block. Glad I got up early enough to catch it live. Keep up the great work, everyone."
All right. Okay, so I lost count. I always lose count in this. I think this is that was either 5 or 6. It's not a big deal. Well, it'll be pretty obvious. So this fight is actually really difficult casually until you find out that if you just stand in one place and time your shots and then just move up and down nice and easy like this, you can take care of Janusz pretty easy. Oh, almost walked into that one. And now we take care of the last one, and plop, there he goes. And that's the last regular level, last regular boss. Now we get to go fight Vigo, and this music now is Spirit, which is from the end credits of the movie, and we get to fight the painting of Vigo, and this is far and away, I think, the hardest fight in the game. And time will come up after I lose control of my character. He'll stop moving. So that's in about a minute or so, hopefully, if things go according to plan. So this looks simple, but what I'm going to tell you is that these shots that he throws at me are totally random. So I'm trying to read them, and I'm standing here just shooting him in the crotch, which he does not like. Oh boy, we lost our shot there. Okay, so I'm trying to move back and forth to prevent from getting hit there, and things are going pretty well. And I ran into that one. It's okay. We got plenty of health. The way that you try to do this fight ideally is that your beam runs out after a certain period of time. Okay, and time is now. We just saved the world and baby Oscar.
Hey, GG. I'll simulate a clap, even though that probably does not come through at all in any respectable way.
And now there's this super cute little finishing video and everything. So just real quick, I have another run immediately following this. But quick shout outs. Thank you so much, gliitchwiitch, for being here with me and commentating and letting me talk way too much.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and even, I mean, you're the one running this.
And thank you to everybody at GDQ for accepting this game. I think it is super awesome. I love it. If you want to learn this game, reach out to me. I'm totally happy to help talk about it, anything like that. It's super fun. It's really adorable, and I think the music's pretty rad. So it's definitely a big fan of it. So that I will see everybody in a few minutes.
All right, we've got a $15 donation from Sparkethos saying, loving the 100% virtual GDQ. Sad to not hear the constant hypes, but so happy we are all still here and helping Doctors Without Borders. And with that, that's going to be all from me for today. We're going to switch over to the next host after these messages, so stay tuned.
Good day, everyone. I am Baidol, and I'm your next host for Summer Games Done Quick 2020 Online, powered by Twitch. As we get ready to continue our NES block with Metal Storm, run by MadMega, let's remind ourselves that we are all here to assist Doctors Without Borders. Doctors Without Borders, or MSF, is an international medical humanitarian aid organization that works in over 70 countries around the world. A big part of MSF's current operations is providing humanitarian aid to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. For the first time ever, MSF has recently started medical work in the U.S. In New York City, MSF partnered with local organizations to improve infection prevention and control measures, and opened temporary relief stations offering free showers and toiletries and information on additional services. MSF staff are assisting with contact tracing and the development and dissemination of health promotion materials. We still have a little bit of time before the next run is ready, so let's read some donations. Michael1120 donates $15 and says, looking forward to all of the great games to be run in this SGDQ. Iceman donates $50 and says, a whole week of watching you guys instead of working? Let's go! Maybe not instead of working, but in addition to, that might be the way to go on that one. Joe247, who donated $50, says, shout out to my friend Andrea in Mississippi. This is her first SGDQ. Love from Seattle, Joe. In honor of the previous New Ghostbusters 2 run, Anonymous donated $5 and said, MadMegaX says, I ain't afraid of no ghost. Who you gonna call? Clearly the answer is MadMega, as we just saw. We have a few anonymous donations here. We have a $100 donation from Anonymous, a $15 donation from Anonymous, and a $10 donation from Anonymous, in addition to a $75 donation from Anonymous. Anonymous really putting in the work there. Keep it up. As a reminder, we do have some open incentives. In a little over an hour, NeoCAD is running a PowerBlade any % normal run that we can upgrade to expert difficulty to add a little bit of extra challenge to that run. This incentive requires $2,500 and currently sits at $1,400. We have raised more than $100,000 already for Doctors Without Borders. What is another $1,000 to meet that incentive? Let's get those donations rolling in and give NeoCAD just a little bit more fun during their PowerBlade run. Here is a $10 donation from HG Blob Jr. Finally have a chance to watch EDQ live. Best of luck to all runners. As we work towards meeting that PowerBlade incentive, don't forget that it doesn't have to be large quantities of money that you need to donate to assist Doctors Without Borders. As you've seen from what I've read so far, many of the donations have been $5, $10, $15. And so every little bit goes towards helping Doctors Without Borders and is worth your time. And as a bit of a bonus, by making those donations, you become eligible for fantastic prizes. You can see those prizes via the donation tracker on gamesdonequick.com. Here is a $15 donation from Wolfgang saying simply, gotta go fast. Games done quick, always got to go fast. We have a $5 donation from Ben13535 saying, long time watcher, first time donator, hope all the runs go well. I think we can say that all runs go well, maybe not necessarily always to plan, but they always go well. K Fizzle sends $15 and says, I took the week off from work just to watch EDQ, and I'm so glad to make my first donation during the NES block. The classics are pretty good, aren't they?